All right. Okay. Oh, it's so hot, guys. Look, I have to have this fan here next to me and it doesn't work. I think it's 34 degrees Celsius or 95 Fahrenheit, something like that. It doesn't matter. It's just too hot to do anything outside unless it's the first thing in the morning or very late at night. It's horrible. I hope you guys are staying cool wherever you are. Anyway, a few days ago, or more like 2 weeks ago, something like that, I made the switch from what was called Adobe Lightroom, that now it's known as Adobe Lightroom Classic CC, to the new Lightroom that is called just Lightroom CC. It's very confusing. I took the opportunity to organize a little bit my photos. I had more than 14,000 in my Lightroom catalog. There is no reason for that, so I've been deleting a lot of photos and organizing them in a different way. So I thought that it would be a good chance for me to talk or to show you my workflow, my new workflow with Lightroom CC with this new software. I kind of talked a little bit about this in the video about how I edit my film photos in Lightroom. I'll leave the link somewhere around here, but I didn't go too deep into it. In this video, I want to show you how I import my photos, how I process them, catalog them, organize them, back them up, and how I share them. Let's do it before I melt here. I just took a selfie of myself with this little camera, so let's pretend that that's the photos that we got last time we went out to take some photos. So I'm gonna try to import that selfie. Should show up somewhere. Here it is. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is to make a copy of that image. Well, I have more images on the camera, but let's pretend that that's the only one that I have. So I open my hard drive. It's like an external hard drive, this one, this little lazy disk. And I have a folder here. This is not the hard drive where I keep my photos. This is just for the sake of it to show you guys how I do it. But this is would be my library. I have a folder for the year. I have a folder for the month. And then I created already a folder for today. So what I do is I copy both the RAW and the JPEG files in there. So I know from now on that I already have a copy there on the hard drive, and that's gonna stay there forever and ever. I should say, unless it's a shitty photo that I know I'm never gonna use, but otherwise it's gonna stay there. Now what I'm gonna do is open the new Lightroom. This is the, oops, I lost myself. So this is the new Lightroom. For those who don't know it, the interface is similar but different. You still have here on the left side your panel with your library, and on the right side you have your tools for editing, and on the bottom you have your film strip with all the photos that you're going to be editing. So to import that photo, I click here on the plus symbol icon on the top left, then browse, and I go to what I was already there, to my hard drive where I made the copy of that photo, and to the date, and I select only the raw file because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it happens to everyone, but it happens to me, and I'm sure that's a bug of the new Lightroom that they'll fix eventually. If you select both the RAW and JPEG, it imports both photos as different photos. So we select only the raw files and review for import. It's okay, it's what we want to do, and add one photo right here. So that's gonna add the new photo to all photos. This is where all our photos are. Also, you might notice here on the top right that it's already syncing it with the cloud. This version of Lightroom, it's all cloud based. You can have a local copy of your catalog, and that's something I do. If you go to settings, sorry, I should do it here with the mouse, preferences here, and then you can do local storage, and you can select store a copy of all originals at the specified location, and you can tell the software to keep a copy of the originals here. If you don't, that's fine. You can still use the software, and it's going to keep a high resolution, the raw file actually, on the cloud, where it's and that's very convenient because it also works as a backup. So what the first thing I do is I go here, and the photo that I just imported, now it's all mixed up with all the photos, I drag it to this album that I have here. It's called To Review. This is the album where I keep all the photos that I have to, as the name says, review. Next thing is to edit the photo. So here it depends on what I want to do with the photo. I have personal photos of family, friends, dogs, myself, whatever, just documenting my life. Then I have my main work, that is the one that I publish on my website, the one that I show you guys here on this YouTube channel, and the one that I share on the social networks. And then I have, I shoot photos that I later sell on stock websites. And I also have some other side projects that I'm working on. So I could be shooting photos for a lot of different reasons. So for the sake of keeping it simple, let's pretend that this is a photo that I want to publish on my website. This is a part of my main work, black and white square photo. So what I do is I edit the photo. And what I do is I come here, I select presets, and I have my preset here. It's black and white. It adds lens correction, and it modifies the tone curve as I want. And that's the result. And now I'm gonna crop it to a square, original to a square, and there you go. Once we have the editing that we like, what I do is I come here and right click, save to. This is like an export in the old Lightroom. And what I do is I export the photos to a folder, and I call it, for example, to upload, and I export the photo full size, full resolution to the desktop. And what I do now is I open a browser and I upload all those photos to photos.google.com. So I use Google Photos as my main repository of all kind of photos that I shoot. All my photos, my personal photos, all my main work photos, all my side project photos, all my stock photos, everything, the photos that I shoot with my phone, with all my cameras, with my drone, anything that I use to shoot photos are here. So what I do is when this thing loads, is I just come here, look for the photo that I just exported in full resolution. Once again, it's a JPEG, but it's this is the max resolution of that camera. It's some what is it, it's 20 megapixels. Anyway, I'm gonna drag it here and I drop it. Well, this is not 20 megapixels, sorry, this is I don't know, 12 maybe, because it's a square from a 20 megapixel photo, but anyway, doesn't really matter. So I upload the photo here and it's already there, right here. So 3 copies we have now. We have the first hard drive, we have the Lightroom copy, and now we have it uploaded to Google Photos. So I upload the photos to Google Photos in low resolution. Well, not low resolution, they call it high quality. So you can upload as many as you want for free, because if not, I would be paying a lot of money here. So it's a 12 megapixel version of your photos. It actually reduces the size of your photo, but it's okay because I use Google Photos just to share some photos with family, with friends, and just to have a copy just in case. It's better to have a 12 megapixel copy than nothing. Another reason to use Google Photos is because it's an amazing search engine for your photos. The new Lightroom CC has some new features, so it can detect faces, it can detect like objects, but Google Photos is still much better. Lightroom is still not yet. It might in the future, but for now it's not. So I use Google Photos this way. For example, just imagine that I want to find a photo of Luna at the beach. I search, and as you can see, I get all the photos of Luna, not other dogs, but Luna, and at the beach. And just imagine that this one is the one that I'm looking for. So the cool thing about this is that it keeps the name, the original name of the file. I took this one with my old A7 II. So what I can do here is just either go to my hard drive here. This is the hard drive, and look for the date here. I know that it's 2017, so I will go to the 2017 folder, and then I know it's January, so I will go to the January folder, and then the day, and then by the name of the file I know which photo or which name I'm looking for, and then I can actually retrieve the raw file. So that's why I love using Google Photos. Not only does it keep an extra copy of my photos, even if it's low resolution, but it also doubles as a search engine for my photos, for even the ones that I have in the hard drive, but they are not in Lightroom. And why couldn't they be in Lightroom? Well, because the next step here is to come here and see if that photo fits in any of my projects. So all the personal photos are gone from Lightroom. I don't keep them here because I don't need them. I just upload them to Google Photos, and from there I just keep them there, or I share them with family or whatever. So they are only in Google Photos and my external hard drive for all the photos, but they are not in Lightroom. But as we said, we are pretending that this photo is one for part of my main work. So what I do is come here. I have a folder for my website. It's called, of course, the same name as my website. I have a few folders here. This is the archive of all the photos that I've published on the website. And the next one is one that is called candidates. So what I do here is I drag this photo because I think it might be good enough to be published on the website and to be shared somewhere else. So what I do is I drag it here to the folder that is called first. And here I have all the photos that I'm thinking about. I'm still considering if these photos are good enough for publication or not. Every once in a while, maybe every 3 or every 4 days, I go through them and I move them up the ladder here. So for example, if I actually like this selfie of myself and I want to publish it on my website, I would move it to number 2, and then 1 or 2 days later I would do the same process and maybe go to the 3rd, and maybe if I really like it, then it goes to the final folder that is to publish. So once it makes it here, then is when I publish the photo and I move it to the archive folder where it's gonna stay archived forever. The photos that I use for something, in this case I'm talking about my main work or stock, I have another folder here and I follow the same workflow. I have a candidates folder where I move all my photos that I might be uploading to stock websites. I put them there in candidates, and then I go through them, and then I upload them to either Adobe or Shutterstock. That's the ones I use. And the same for side projects, like for example, this is the exhibition that I'm working on, the American Untitled. I have another book coming too, American Landscapes, and these are another 3 projects that I'm working on now. So I would drag this photo to the project that it belongs to or whatever. One important thing about this workflow is if the photo makes it to one of these side folders, then I consider it already reviewed, so it doesn't need to be here in this to review folder any longer. So I delete it from here. I don't delete the photo, I just remove it from the album, and I have 1 photo less to review here. I still have all these photos to go through and see if I'm gonna use them for anything. They are all of them are already uploaded to Google Photos, but I haven't had the time to go through them and see if I'm gonna upload them to the stock, or I'm gonna I forgot to show you another folder I have here, social, that is what I post to my 2 Instagram accounts. So I might post them to Instagram, I might not, but that's why I'm keeping all these photos that otherwise they would be deleted. So for example, I have all these photos from my recent trip to the coast. Let me look them up for them. Where are they? Oh, here. So as you can see, they are darker. That's because oops, stop. The performance of this thing is not the best. Also, I'm recording the screen, so I guess that doesn't help. But for example, this photo, as you can see, has been rejected. That's what I do here, this view, you can see all of them are rejected. That's how I mark them. That's how I know that that photo should be deleted. So every few days I come here, I give them a little bit a grace period just in case I regret it or something. But these photos are going to be removed, are going to be deleted from Lightroom. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you one example. For example, this one, I know that I'm not going to use it for anything. It's not going to be good enough for my main work. It's not going to belong to any project. So what I do is I just come here and delete the photo permanently from everywhere it is. It's gone. Now, fear not, because if for any reason I still want to use that photo in the future, I can find it in Google Photos and then go to my hard drive where I'll have an extra copy. But I don't need it right now in my Lightroom because it's just taking room, it's taking space, and this number is getting super huge and super high, and I don't like that. I like to keep things clean, even though I had 14,000 photos up until last week, but I'm trying to fix that. I really like to keep things clean, and that's what I'm trying to do here. So yeah, I just show you then the process of importing the photo, moving it here. This is very important to have a folder where I know that I have to go through all the photos that belong to that folder, and then I catalog them to whatever they belong, if they are part of my main work or if they are going to be used in any other project. Another important thing is if the photo is going to be used in two places. For example, I'm going to publish it on my website and also on Instagram, and also I'm going to use it in a side project. So what I do is just assume that I'm going to use the selfie. So what I do is I make a copy here, and it's the copy that I move to whatever, like let's move it to here. Oops. Let's move it to this album then. And then I delete that copy from this album. This way, the photo that I have here for my website is different from the one that I have here for this project. And the reason is because I might edit this photo differently for this project, this specific project. It might not be a square, it might not even be black and white. So I don't want to have to deal with that issue that it could arise if I start editing the same photo in a different way when it built in one project and see that photo change in the other project. So what I do is I make a copy and I get rid of that problem. They are two different photos. They don't take any room. I believe they don't take extra space on your cloud account or your Lightroom account or Adobe account because they are the same file. I think they are just kept as different edits, so it should be fine. But yeah, so I can come here and I delete that photo permanently because I still have the other copy here on the candidates folder. Last step is to back them up one more time, just to make real sure that we're not going to lose these photos, because you know it takes a lot of effort to take these photos and you don't want to lose them. So what I use, the service that I use, is this software called Backblaze. You might know them, you might not. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just happen to like it. I think the software could use some improvements for sure, but it's nice. It's $5 a month, I think, and it's unlimited. You can back up all your computer hard drive and all the external hard drives you want. It has to be just one computer, but you can plug as many external hard drives as you want. So as you can see, I have almost 3 terabytes, no, more than 3 terabytes backed up on this service. And they have a website and they have an app for the phone, so you can retrieve or recover any file at any time. So I have a note here to remember all the copies that I have of all my photos. If you remember, it's the local copy of Lightroom, ideally in one hard drive, and then the other local copy of all my photos, because the first copy is just of the Lightroom catalog, the second one is of all my photos in a second hard drive. Then I have the cloud copy of Lightroom in the Adobe cloud, so that's 3 copies, and then I have Google Photos, that is for quick browsing and for to look photos up, and then the 5th copy is Backblaze. Yeah, Backblaze. And to Backblaze I upload everything, not only my photos. I upload all my vlog footage, I upload documents, I upload everything that is on my computer and hard drives. It gets backed up to Backblaze. But of course, among all those files are my photos. So 5 different copies. And remember that I still have the memory card, the copy in the memory card. I have a bunch of memory cards, some 5 or 6 that I use exclusively for photos. So I switch them up every time that I go out. So I'm gonna keep a copy of the photo in that memory card for at least 6 more times until I go out 6 more times, just in case I didn't have time to back them up to the cloud here to Backblaze, or to the cloud on the Lightroom, or even I haven't had the time to copy them to a second hard drive or something. So they are kept in the memory card for a little bit. So this is it. This is basically my entire workflow with the new Lightroom. I hope you guys learned something. And about the new Lightroom itself, I would not recommend to update or to move from the old Lightroom to this one, because then the synchronization between the catalogs and the two apps is gonna get much more trickier. I don't like it, so I just stopped using the classic one. But this new Lightroom is still missing a lot of features. It doesn't have the print model, for example, that I use to print my photos. It doesn't have color labels. That's very annoying because I used to use color labels all the time. Anyway, my point is that the new Lightroom is still missing some features. That's what I'm keeping here, the Lightroom Classic, but I do not share the same, or I do not use the same catalog with both apps. I have a brand new catalog on the Lightroom Classic, and I only use it when I'm gonna print a photo, when I'm working on a print of a photo. But everything else, I have it here in my new Lightroom CC. I kind of regret moving so early. I think that it's gonna improve a lot over time. I think that Adobe is investing a lot on this new software, and I think it's gonna be the way they are gonna go from now on, but it's still not yet, and it has a lot of bugs. But the interface is very nice. It synchronizes with the reason that, and that's the reason why I switched, is because I use Lightroom on my phone and my tablet all the time to share to Twitter, to share to Instagram, to even edit photos. And now they've introduced some new features like the helium tool, so I can use my Apple Pencil on the tablet. So that's very nice, and that's the reason why I switched here, because it synchronizes very well with this new software. It even synchronizes finally the presets, so I can just come here, these presets that you have here. I only have one, but you could have 1,000 if you want. So these presets get synchronized with your Lightroom mobile on the phone and the iPad. So you just have to press here and then adjust the specifics for each photo. So that's very nice. But anyway, I hope, as I said, I hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions about this workflow or the new Lightroom CC, I'm not an expert. Please leave a comment below. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.